guys, so welcome to the second part of my procrastination videos. I wanted to do it in one video, but I have way too much stuff to talk about, so I need to do it in two. So the first part is going to be linked right here, and it's going to be on understanding procrastination, and it's really important that you watch it before, because I'm going to refer to it a couple times. So you need to watch that part before you watch this one. So, you ready? Let's get started. Now, let's fix the problem. Now we know why we procrastinate, so that was the first step. The first step was to realize the reason why we procrastinate, and now it's time to realize that no one is going to do it for you. No one's going to fix the problem for you. You cannot ask mom and dad to stop you from doing it, you know? Like, nobody can do that for you. You need to, like, take a step and be like, okay, I'm going to try to procrastinate less. I'm going to work on that myself. It's really important that you do it yourself, and you need a lot of discipline. So the ones who have like a lack of discipline as a thing, like me, that's gonna be hard. But you need to push yourself. You need to like be tough. You really need to be like strong with that, because if you slack a little, you're gonna go back to your old ways, and you can't afford that. Like, nobody can afford procrastination. It's really like a loss of time, and we're in a society where time means money. No, just kidding. But it means something. Like, all the time you lose just procrastinating is not good. So you really, really need to work on that. And we need to fix that all together. Now, the second step to fixing the problem is to try to make the task more likable. And this is hard. It's hard to make something you don't like likable. But like I said earlier, for people with task aversion, if you think something is really, really like boring, you can try to divide it like in tiny little chunks. If you do like just like a few minutes of it every so often, it's not going to be more fun, but at least like it's not going to give you the impression of being that boring, because it's not going to be like a full 4 hours of boring stuff. Now, the third step is to improve on organization skills. And I have a lot of video already explaining a little bit about organization, and I'm going to do a lot more in the future. So I'm going to link the playlist right here. But for this particular video, I'm quickly going to go through a few things that would be really helpful. So to improve your organization skills, and decrease your impulsiveness, because that's what procrastination is about. The first thing you should do is set priorities. So how I do when I want to set priorities is I use one of these pads. I have them in like all the colors that exist, seriously. But what I do is I separate it in 3, and I write high priorities, medium priorities, and also low priorities. And all the things I have to do, whether it's due today or in 2 months, like all the things I need to do, I put them like in like the right categories. So basically what you do is, like, in high priorities you can put like the stuff that's due really soon, or things that are really important that you do right away, which is basically the same thing. And then medium is like more or less like important stuff, and low priorities is stuff that is due like later and stuff like that. Like, it's important that you do everything that's on the list, but I mean, like, they're not due today or like tomorrow or like really soon, you know? But it's important you work on them anyway. So that's how I organize my stuff. It's important to divide in priorities, but then what do? You have like 10 things in high priorities, and there's many ways you can deal with that stuff. You can do like the things that are, because in high priorities, not everything is due today, you know? So what you can do is organize even more like the stuff that are due, and prioritize the stuff that is due by date. So stuff like that. Or you can put it by difficulty. So there's many ways you can deal with difficulty stuff, you know? You can start with the most difficult and then work your way down to easy stuff. So that way you can start with the tough stuff and then like end up with easy stuff. But you can also start with easy stuff, because it's gonna be motivating, and if you start with difficult stuff, you're gonna be, after one, you're gonna be like, oh, I can't do that, and you're not gonna be motivated enough to do the other stuff. Or you can just do it like a mix of all. So let's say you have 3 things, you could say, let's say you could start with the difficult one, then do the medium one, then do the easy one. Or you could also do like the easy one, medium one, and then like the hard one. Or my favorite one is to do the medium one first, then do the difficult one. So that way, like, if you don't start with the difficult one, it's easier because it's going to be more motivating than starting with the really hard one, because if you start with the hard one, you're not going to be motivated anymore. And then, like, end up with the easy one. That's, like, the best, because you keep the easy stuff for the end. So when you're tired, it's like, oh, well, that's easy. I'm going to do it anyway, right? And it's important to be realistic, too. So break the tasks, like I said earlier. Don't try to write a whole paper in an hour. That's impossible. So try to break them into manageable steps. So let's say today I'm going to work on my introduction and also on my first paragraph of development. And then tomorrow I'm going to work on the second development paragraph and the third one. And I'm going to keep the conclusion and the revision for the other day after that. Just break it into manageable tasks, and if even that is a lot of work, you can break it down like even more. So today I'm just gonna work on my thesis statement, you know, and stuff like that. Like, you can break it in really tiny little piece, but it's important that you manage your time. And that brings me to my next point, which is planning ahead. And my favorite way to plan ahead is to use backward planning. And backward planning is basically to use the due date and go back so you know how much time you want to spend on each steps. Let's say I have a paper due again, because that's the easiest thing to use. Let's say like my paper is due on March 1st, and actually I have an essay due on March 1st on consumerism. So what I would do, I would use my calendar. You can use like a wall calendar, a planner, or a calendar like that. And that's the way I'm working right now, but I used to use my planner, and I also use a calendar on my wall too. So what you can do is you write down, like right here, March 1st, paper due. And then for my paper, I don't really have a lot of research to do, but let's say I had, okay? So then, like, you want to be done a couple days before, right? Because you don't want to be done on March 1st, because otherwise, like, it's last minute. So I want to be done by by February 24th. So I write down, like, revision on March 24th. So on March 24th, I can revise my stuff. And I always like to have like a couple of days between when I'm done writing my stuff and also when I revise it. That way, like, I can cool off and read it like from a more objective point of view. So if I revise it on the 24th, I might want to finish on the 20th. And if I finish on the 20th, well, my paper is like really easy, so I should be able to do it in one day. But let's say it's a hard paper. If I want to finish on the 20th, I should start writing it on the 17th. So every day I'm going to write a little bit. So on the 17th, I might write my introduction. Then on the 18th, I'm going to write my first and second development paragraphs. Then on the 19th, I'm going to write my third development paragraph. And on the 20th, I'm going to write my conclusion. So that sounds good. And if you want to be even more like careful, you could even give you like an extra day in that timeline. So start on the 16th in case you have like an urgent study session or something like really urgent and you cannot do it one day. So you give yourself like one extra day. So if I want to start writing it on the 16th and I have a lot of research to do, I might want to give myself like at least a week to like find the things and read them. So let's say I start on the 9th, which is already past, which is not good. Let's just pretend. So I want to start on the 9th. So on the 9th, I want to check my, I want to go online and find like all the information I need. And then I'm going to try to read it every day until the 16th. And the way I work, like you might have seen it on Instagram because I posted a few videos on how I write papers. But I'm probably gonna do a video on that if it's helpful and you want to see it. But what I do is I research the stuff first before I plan anything. So I might have like a really easy outline. Let's say like I don't know. If I already know what I'm gonna talk about, I can say like on the first paragraph I'm gonna talk about that, and that. But usually I have absolutely no knowledge of what I'm going to write about before I do the research. So I just read the things, and as I read the things, I kind of figure out how my outline is going to be. So I'm writing my outline while I read my stuff. But if you already know what you're going to talk about, the day before you start your research, or maybe like just like an hour before you start your research, you can write your outline. So that's it for backward planning. That was kind of long, and like I don't want to use a whole video for that. Another thing you can do to organize yourself more is to set a study schedule. And basically, like, there's nothing like to explain it. You just try to fit like specific periods where you're gonna work on, where you're gonna do school work, and like you try to fit it in your schedule. And try to set a routine. So try to have the same schedule every week, and it's gonna be a lot easier at some point to do your homework. And also you could observe your progress. So every time, like let's say you write it down, you write your schedule down, right? And then you can mark down every time you actually do what you were supposed to do. And at the end, like if you see the number of hours you worked on schoolwork, you might be like, oh well, I didn't, like, I might not be done with everything, but I actually worked. Like I did something, because you spent maybe like 10 hours this week on schoolwork, you know? So with the study schedule, if you like observe your progress, you're going to be able to see how good you did. Now another way to like reward yourself is to use the reward system. So what you can do is give yourself some stuff. Like for me, I don't have a lot of money, so I don't purchase stuff to like give myself like a reward, except when it's really huge stuff. So I give myself an iPad for graduating. But other than that, usually like what I give myself as reward is either like a shower, washing dishes, cleaning my room, or watching TV, hanging out with friends, you know. But like another way to work with the reward system is to use time, and like with that time you can do whatever you want. So like my shower, my washing my dishes, watching a movie, whatever. So like the ideal rate is 30 minutes of work for 10 minutes of pleasure, you know. But if that's too much for you, like 30 minutes is too much, you can do like 20-20, or you could also give yourself like 10-10. And if that still doesn't work and you need like more time to like breathe, you could do like 10 minutes of work for 30 minutes of activity. But like I know you guys are gonna think, oh my god, but if I do that, like it's gonna take forever to do something. Yes, it will. But if you don't use that technique, you might not even get anything done. You might not do it at all. So that's still better than not doing anything. So if you need to take like really big breaks for like a tiny amount of work, do it, and eventually you can build up and be able to do 30 minutes of work and then like 10 minutes of activity. So yeah, and like those two things, like the study schedule and also like the reward system, are really going to help you. But other things that might help you are sleeping and eating healthier. I'm not really healthy at all, but so I don't want to force you to do that, but I'm telling you that it's going to help you, and it will help me too. So I'm kind of trying. The most important thing you need to do is to distance temptation. So you need to avoid distraction. So turn your computer off if you don't need it, and if you need it, try to turn the Wi-Fi thing off or something, so you don't get messages from your friends and Facebook alerts and stuff like that. Put your phone away. Give it to your mom if you need to, or like turn it off. But plug like the whole word away so you can just focus on the task. And that's really important, because I know when I'm studying, I take like maybe more than half of the time I'm like texting or like clicking something on the internet, but not doing the actual task I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm telling myself, oh, I did an hour of work, but I didn't, because actually I did like 30 minutes of like other stuff in my study time. So it's really important to like just avoid all the distraction. So no computer if it's not necessary, no phone, Nothing. And if you need the internet because you're researching something, make sure like you put yourself offline everywhere. The last thing that you could do to really help you do that stuff is to go public. So tell everyone around you that you're trying not to procrastinate, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm telling you guys, all of you guys, that I want to start like procrastinate less. So if I don't do it, you're gonna be able to say, "Hey, Laurie, like you're still procrastinating. That's wrong. You said you would stop." Yeah, my imitations are not that good. So just like tweet it. Just tell your friends, tell your parents. Like write it on Facebook. You can write it on the video. Just let people know that you're trying to stop, so that way like people can remind you to keep on like working on that stuff, you know? So yeah, it's important to go public. I think it's a really good thing to go public, so people like will help you reach your goal. Yeah? So that's it. This video was crazy long. I think it's about an hour long now. I need to edit it. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry it took so long. I talk way too much. Now it's time for you guys to tell me what you think about it. And let me know if you try it. And that's it. So thanks for watching. I love you guys. Make sure to subscribe, comment, share, and rate. And also visit all of my links. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, everything. So, thanks again. I'm sending you all of my love. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
So that's my favorite way of like prioritizing my stuff. Prioritizing my stuff. Yeah, that's my favorite way of prioritizing my stuff. Did I say it right?
Whoa. I'm falling.
So what do? Sorry, that's hard to hold. Okay. Sorry, my battery died. So hey guys, so I'm sorry like this changed again because my battery died again. Again, my battery died. So let's do an hashtag. So I'm gonna put like a hashtag like no more procrastination. That's too long of an hashtag because you only have like 500 characters. Procrastination is a word way too long. Yeah.